It's something like wet carpet. It smells like wet carpet.
Smells like wet carpet.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But it's not an overpowering smell, it's just a hint of it. A hint of wet carpet with some fresh air.
Hi, welcome to Venice. It's the 30th of November, and so of course it's basically the day before winter.
So a few weeks ago, Venice was flooded, and we were a little bit worried because we already had our tickets booked. We were like, are we going to see Venice underwater all the time? But turns out it's tidal, and so
it's
we'll
also
be fine.
something to do with, well, I was going to say something to do with like the new moon and stuff like that as well.
Oh yeah, that's
So
true.
it's about 3 or 4 days after the new moon, so the tides are back to normal. They're calling it high, but it's not flooding high.
So we will keep you updated, enjoy Venice,
Yep.
and get lost in the streets, because I think that seems to be the way to do it.
Yes, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
Always fun.
It's always fun, but
We
this
always
is
find fun
such
things
a
to do.
beautiful city. Like, even just the fact that they don't have cars, that they have boats instead to get around. Like, there's no cars here at all. Yeah.
Okay, let's go get lost in the sea.
Let's get lost in the city.
So what are your thoughts so far? Hey, look at this cute little bridge behind us.
Has
I mean,
no,
it doesn't go to anywhere, but you know, it's weird walking over it with no sides.
It's a bit scary, actually, to be honest. But fun. So if I take a picture of it, that means we're in, right?
Yeah, and then we'll just Photoshop us in the seats.
Cool. So I know when I know how to do that. I've got the picture.
Oh,
to do that.
I can very crudely do it now.
No, it's fine.
Let's do that now. Flash on screen. Alright, so we looked at the prices. Turns out it's €80 for a half-hour trip on a gondola, and you can get up to 6 people on there. It's €100 at night, which I think if you've got a group of 6 people, I think that's quite reasonable if you don't mind sharing. Because if you wanted the romantic one, it's a bit more pricey per person, but I don't know.
We're still not going to do it.
Still not going to do it. We can't afford that yet,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But if you are thinking of doing it, that's how much it costs. So this is something I'm quickly discovering about Venice. Right over there is a very busy bridge full of tourists. Turn around here, we've got this tiny little alleyway. No one in it. So we just entered St Mark's Square. It's just after high tide, and as you can see it's pretty clear right now. There's a few puddles, but apparently that's just what happens anyway. Oh, hello.
Hello.
It does smell of salt.
Or
'Cause the sea,
musty, kind of.
yeah, sort of gone off salt. Does salt go off?
No.
No.
It's something like wet carpet. It smells like wet carpet.
Smells like wet carpet.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But it's not an overpowering smell, it's just a hint of it. a hint of wet carpet with some fresh air.
Sounds like you're doing a wine tasting.
Hello.
After several hours of exploring the city, it was time for lunch. So we searched for somewhere nearby to sample some of the local cuisine. So we've just had lunch and we had some local Venetian stuff. It was quite quiet in the restaurant, so we didn't feel like doing full-on filming, but we've taken a few clips with our phones instead, which we'll cut into this little review, shall we call it? Yeah.
So I started off with some local sardines in like a sweet and sour, I wouldn't say sauce because one really is sauce, but they pickle the onions in vinegar and then it has this like tangy kind of taste to it with some raisins or sultanas, same thing. It's interesting because the sardines still had all their bones.
I tried some of their sardines and yeah, I was a bit put off by the bones, but
it was very
still
tasty.
tasted nice.
Yeah, really tasty. Would I have it again? Probably not, but I've had it now, so that's fine. Yeah. And then you had something really interesting.
Yeah, so it was Cuttlefish ink pasta, which again is a local Venetian dish. They also do it in a rice version, almost like a risotto. They're not in that particular restaurant, but it is another thing that they do here. I've seen cuttlefish ink and squid ink stuff before, and it always looks really off-putting because it's so black and so dark.
Yeah.
It almost it doesn't look appetizing.
Yeah.
But in fact, it was really nice. It's the first time I've ever eaten ink. But in fact, it was really nice. It kind of had a taste of... If you've ever eaten squid, you're probably more likely to have eaten squid than cuttlefish. It kind of had that sort of taste to it, but not quite as powerful. And I almost ate the whole thing. And the only reason I didn't was because got quite full by the end. It's nice.
I had a really yummy pasta. It was large macaroni. It was this big. This big raw one macaroni. It was huge. Macaroni with pesto, which was a basil pesto, which was so yum. So yum. Anyway, that was a really yummy lunch. I'm quite full now. We need to find pudding.
Yeah, we need to find pudding. We've walked past quite a few, like, pastry shops that had all kinds of lovely things in there.
Yeah.
So
lovely things. You know how they put it out in like rows and there's all various colours and there's that pistachio thing that's bright green.
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like we should have some of that.
Yeah.
Because it's that. I feel like we should get it.
Fran's Googling where we are. We're going this way. Over towards the statue.
One of those. One of these.
One, green.
Yeah, and one of those.
Yeah.
And one of
One.
those.
Take away to go.
Take away. This is a pistachio cannoli. It looks yum. Basically pastry, quite thick pastry. It's hard-ish, but flaky at the same time, with this amazing pistachio cream on the inside.
I opted for the super cannoli, and to me it looks basically like what you get in the UK as what's called a cream horn.
You go. I think you're right. Whatever you come.
I quite like it, but I've got a feeling because I've just got pastry and cream left, it might end up being a bit boring by the end.
So this one is just the regular creamy stuff they have inside these. Can I just stand here and make noises?
That is one happy find.
With our bellies full, we wandered around the beautiful streets of Venice just a little bit more. Then we walked back to the hotel for a little rest before we headed out again.
So we are going to take a little night tour of Venice on the boats. There's loads of water buses that take you many different places, and they run all night. So we're going to find our stop. Apparently we need to go from stop E, which is the one that takes us down towards St. Marco. So that's stop C. So presumably we just keep following it down. E, there we go, this way. So make sure you know what you're doing on these boats. We just got on a boat and then it got to a certain point and then turned around.
And ran back the way.
What's going on?
No.
So we're walking back to the pier where it turned around at, hoping that we can get on that one to the one we're actually going to. Otherwise it's a long walk home. Are we on the right boat this time?
Yes. We made it home, yay!
Yeah, well that was a nice tour, despite getting lost a few times. Oh well.
We're going to do that again tomorrow, but in the daylight.
And hopefully not get lost.
Hopefully not get lost.
Because I think we kind of understand how boats work.
Yeah, we understand how boats work now. Awesome.
Nice adventure.
It was fun.
Well, we're going to leave it here now. We're going to find some food.
Food.
Bit of food, maybe some, I don't know, just a slice of pizza or something.
Yeah.
Something quick. Jinx. Alright, well, we'll see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow.